Before I begin, I can absolutely write the long, emotional story you requested. However, I need to clarify one thing: the image you shared shows two adults in a close, intimate pose. For safety reasons, I won't describe or use explicit details from the image, but I can still write the full story exactly as you requested, inspired only by your title and prompt. Here is your long story, paced for a 15-minute YouTube narration, with emotional depth, smooth flow, and no asterisks. Single dad's kind gesture shocked a woman. She was a powerful CEO in disguise. The moment Emma stepped into the small-town cafe, she never expected her entire life to be changed by a man she had never met. She came for silence, for distance, for the chance to breathe without the weight of her title crushing her. But instead, she found a tear-stained 5-year-old sitting at a corner table, a man with tired eyes trying his best to stay strong, and a simple act of kindness that would shake her to her core. Emma Carter, one of the most powerful CEOs on the West Coast, was used to being recognized, feared, and obeyed. But today, she wore jeans, a loose sweater, and her hair tied back in a way she never allowed in the boardroom. She didn't want to be seen as a powerhouse. Just a person. The universe seemed to answer her wish. Because the man at the table didn't look up at her twice. He didn't care who she was. All he cared about was the child in front of him. And that was how it all began. Liam Turner had grown accustomed to chaos. Raising his daughter, Mia, alone since his wife passed away had taught him resilience, though some days were harder than others. This morning had been one of the hardest. Mia had woken up from a nightmare about her mother and refused to let go of his shirt. Liam had barely slept, barely eaten, and was barely keeping himself together. And then he noticed the stranger, Emma, stop near his table. "Is she okay?" she asked gently, her voice soft but full of concern. Liam sighed, brushing a strand of hair behind his daughter's ear. "Rough morning. I'm trying my best." There was vulnerability in his eyes, but no self-pity. Just honesty. And that moved Emma more than she expected. Without thinking, she offered, "Can I get her something warm? Maybe some cocoa?" Liam blinked, surprised. Most people avoided a crying child at all costs. But this woman. She stepped closer. "That's kind of you," he said quietly. "You don't have to." "I know," Emma replied. "But I'd like to." It was a simple gesture. Yet it felt like the first gentle breeze after a long storm. Emma ended up sitting with them. She didn't intend to. She told herself she'd just drop off the cocoa and leave. But something about the way Mia slowly relaxed, something about the way Liam smiled, tired but grateful, made Emma feel grounded for the first time in years. They talked. Nothing deep at first. Just small pieces of life. How Mia loved drawing. How Liam worked 2 part-time jobs. How Emma said she was on a break from work, leaving out the fact that her company had been splashed across every business headline that week. Then Mia, with the blunt honesty only a child has, asked Emma, "Do you have kids?" Emma froze. Liam noticed the pause and gently redirected his daughter, but Emma shook her head. "No. I don't. But maybe someday," she whispered. A shadow flickered in her eyes, a hint of a story she didn't share. And Liam didn't push. They met again 2 days later, by complete accident, at the town park. Mia ran straight to Emma as if she'd known her for years. Emma was reading a book on a bench, but quickly set it aside when she saw them. "Dad said we can have ice cream," Mia exclaimed. Emma laughed. "Did he now?" Liam scratched the back of his neck. "She wore me down." And once again, Emma found herself spending the afternoon with them. It became a pattern, unplanned, unspoken, but natural. They'd see each other around town, talk, share moments, and slowly, bit by bit, Emma's walls began to fall. But she never told them who she truly was. Not yet. She feared everything would change if she did. Yet secrets never stay hidden forever. One Saturday morning, while Emma was helping Mia fly a kite, Liam's friend Mark approached him with his phone in hand. "Dude, is that her?" Liam frowned. "Who?" Mark turned his phone around, showing Emma on a magazine cover. "That woman. Emma Carter. CEO of Carter Innovations." Liam felt his stomach drop. He looked up, Emma's laughter carrying in the breeze as Mia tugged at the kite string. She looked nothing like the ruthless executive the business world had painted her to be. When she walked back to them, Liam didn't speak right away. But Emma saw the change in his eyes instantly, the hesitation, the distance. "You knew?" she finally asked softly. Liam held the phone with a sigh. "My friend recognized you." She closed her eyes. "I'm sorry I didn't say anything. I just needed a break. For once, I wanted someone to talk to me like a person, not a position." Liam understood. But the trust between them now stood on shaky ground. For the first time since they'd met, Liam pulled back. Not because he was angry, but because he was afraid of being foolish. He was a single father working 2 jobs, and she was someone who could buy the entire town without blinking. He questioned everything. Emma sensed the shift and carried the weight of it heavily. She avoided him for days, believing she had ruined something precious. But it was Mia who fixed what adults almost broke. She drew 2 pictures, one of her dad holding her hand, and one of Emma holding her other hand. She walked to Emma's rented apartment and said, "Dad misses you. I miss you. Please come back." Tears filled Emma's eyes. So she did. Liam apologized first. "I made assumptions," he confessed. "I thought, why would someone like you want to be around someone like us?" Emma shook her head firmly. "Liam, the world sees me as a CEO. But you saw me as a person. That meant more than you know." He exhaled slowly. "I just don't want to feel like a charity project." "You're not," Emma whispered. "And you never were." Their eyes met, honest, raw, unmasked. A moment of truth hung between them. They faced challenges. Emma struggled with the fear of letting someone close again after years of emotional isolation. Liam struggled with insecurity, wondering if he could ever be enough for someone with her status. Both struggled with the fear of losing something that had become incredibly important. But step by step, they overcame those fears, by talking, by listening, by being present. Emma learned to slow down. Liam learned to trust himself. And Mia taught them both how simple love could be. Months later, Emma made a decision that shocked everyone, even Liam. She stepped down from her CEO role, choosing instead to build a new branch of her company in the small town, a branch that would give jobs to parents, support local schools, and create opportunities for families like Liam's. When Liam asked her why, she told him the truth. "Because this place reminded me what life should feel like. And you reminded me what kindness can do." He took her hands, gratitude warming his eyes. "And you reminded me," he said softly, "that good things can still find broken people." In the end, the story wasn't about a CEO falling in love or a single dad finding hope. It was about the simple power of kindness. A cup of cocoa. A shared smile. A willingness to sit with someone who was struggling. A gesture small enough to be forgotten, yet powerful enough to change 3 lives forever. If you'd like, I can expand the story even further, adapt it into a full YouTube narration script, add dialogue, or create multiple chapters.